Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for our devotional. Today we're in Acts chapter 5, verse 33, just one verse. Listen to this. When they heard this, they were enraged and wanted to kill them. So let's take a deeper look into the context of this very intense moment. The apostles were actually standing before the religious ruling council. And there were, two types of religious leaders on this council. There were Sadducees and Pharisees. And each group has slightly different views. The first difference between the two was primarily theological. Sadducees denied the spiritual reality of the resurrection from the dead and anything to do with the afterlife. So with it, concepts like heaven and hell and angels and demons. This means that they were largely secular in their practice of their religion. The Pharisees, in comparison, were much more invested in these spiritual realities. They do believe in the resurrection from the dead and the afterlife. Now, the second difference between the two was primarily political. Sadducees were aligned socially with the aristocracy and families of noble birth. Thus, they had some strong ties to the Roman government, and they had a vested interest in anything that was their agenda. This is probably why the Roman government selected Annas and Caiaphas. They were Sadducees. On the other hand, the Pharisees were more aligned to common Jewish culture. They were mostly small business owners from families with enough money to afford schooling and were able to climb their way into a place of, political influence. And as a result, what happens here is that the Sadducees on the council become enraged with these apostles. They see them and their message as a threat to everything they believe theologically, but it's the public nature of what they're teaching that's putting them at odds with the aristocracy of the Roman government. So what do they want to do? Well, they want to kill them. So now let's step out of their time back into our time. As followers of Jesus Christ, we need to be prepared for the opposition that these men faced here. While many of us have never known persecution, there's a tide that's shifting. There's momentum mounting against biblical truth, and at some point, it might actually become enraged against us. Sound biblical truth will be opposed by, I think, the theological diversions and political positioning of others. And as we speak up about these biblical convictions, we will be met with forceful opposition that will seek to put us down. At first, much of this is going to happen through shaming and social dismissal, but eventually it will put us at odds with churches and political movements and social groups. And we will find that at some point we must function independently from these structures so that we can speak up and stand up about biblical truth in the name of Jesus. I think this presents a great question for followers. It's this: are you functioning independently enough from the systems of the world that you can speak up and stand up for Jesus Christ? I would spend some time thinking about this today. Consider how you can more effectively speak up and stand up for Jesus Christ, because eventually the system will rage against us and seek to put us down. Thanks for joining me for this devotional today. I hope you enjoyed it. Share it with someone you know. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.